Hey everyone, Brian Zane here with my predictions for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view for this Sunday. Let's just get Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman out of the way. I think we all want to do that. There's a part of me that thinks they're going to get a wild hair up their ass and just give Baron Corbin his win back after getting beat by Braun so many consecutive times, but that would be insanity, and so I'm just going to say Braun Strowman wins again. There we go. Buddy Murphy defends the Cruiserweight title against Akira Tozawa. This is one half the match we saw at the Rumble pre-show last month. This is probably a pre-show match as well, because that's just where the Cruiserweight title ends up these days. You know, I really don't see Buddy Murphy losing the championship until WrestleMania time, if that. I think he's done a great job as champion. He's always been very impressive when I've seen him, and I don't think it makes more sense for a momentous title change to happen around WrestleMania. I think they'd be jumping the gun if they did anything like that. Elimination Chamber. So I think they're going to hold off for the time being. Buddy's going to win and retain, and there you go. Smackdown tag title match as MCMIZ defend against the USOS. Of course, Jimmy and Jay became #1 contenders right after the Rumble pay-per-view. They won that Four Corners tag match to get there. We haven't seen much interaction between these two teams except for the go-home show, at least in the same space at the same time. And, you know, we actually haven't seen Miz and Shane wrestle a match since they won at the Rumble, oddly enough. So I think, you know, this is going to be an interesting matchup here. I think the USOS, the one thing they have over Cesaro and Sheamus is that as athletic as the Bar are, I believe the Usos are just a little bit more so. I think we can get a more exciting matchup between the two teams here. At least I hope so. I just hope Shane doesn't whiff any more of those rabbit punches he does, those little baby arm punches. But I think that Shane and The Miz are going to retain here. Probably wait until Fastlane to drop the belt, and then if they're going to have a blow-off at WrestleMania, that's the justification for it. So yeah, I don't see the title changing hands at this show. Ronda Rousey defends the Raw Women's title against Ruby Riott. A lot of R words in that sentence there. To me, this match is nothing more than a throwaway. It's just to keep Ronda busy. It's unfortunate because I think Ruby does deserve to be in the title picture, but right now it's kind of being monopolized by like a very select upper tier few, and so everyone else kind of has to wait in line. You know, and the genesis for this feud or this matchup is literally Ronda killed Morgan and Logan on Raw in back-to-back matches. She and Ruby had a stare down, and Ruby walked away, and now we have this matchup here. And considering we didn't even see the two interact on Raw on the Go Home show, what's the point? You know, it seems kind of elementary at this point. I think Ronda Rousey will retain. Seems like the easy choice, at least. I don't think we're going to see any kind of back-to-back real quick title changes between now and WrestleMania. And they also said Charlotte's going to be in the front row for that matchup, so I'm sure maybe she won't be involved in the match itself, but I'm sure after the match we'll see some kind of confrontation. And where will Becky Lynch play into all this? The Intercontinental Championship's on the line as Bobby Lashley, along with Lio Rush, defend against Finn Balor in a 2-on-1 handicap match. You know, I've been really impressed with how Lio Rush has been kind of seamlessly integrated into Bobby's business in this storyline, because first he was just like a manager who could, on Raw at least, he was a manager who could do some big flips and get tossed around like a rag doll and stuff, and it was entertaining. Now you can see him actually getting in the ring and showing himself as a wrestler, which he's already been doing on 205 Live. So again, natural integration into the roster for Lio Rush. And I think that he's doing a really good job playing kind of like the little sidekick to Bobby Lashley. It's kind of, I forget their names now, but it's the two dogs in Looney Tunes. There's the little one and there's the big one. That's what I envision with Bobby and Lio here. And I think Leo's a great addition, a nice wrinkle for Bobby Lashley's character. I think Finn is going to work well in this matchup. I think the most of the impressive stuff is going to be between he and Lio, but I think Bobby's going to look good here too. I do believe though that Bobby will retain the championship due to some, 2-on-1 chicanery basically. Leo's going to pull some kind of cheating stuff, and Bobby's going to retain that way. So, do we love Bobby? Do we love Bobby? We're getting a women's tag team elimination chamber match to determine who will be the first of the new iteration of the women's tag team championships in the company. You've got Nia Jax and Tamina, Sasha Banks and Bayley, Carmella and Naomi, the Iconics, the Riot Squad, and Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. And the match is going to open with Bayley and Sasha and Fire and Desire. This one to me is kind of tough to call because I don't feel any one team in this mix is above the rest in terms of booking. I think maybe Sasha and Bayley are obviously the most prominent face team. They have the most chemistry together. They've been a team the longest out of the face tag teams. And you've got Nia Jax and Tamina, who are, they're over in a sense that people don't really like seeing them on TV. So people want them to go away and they don't want to be around. But I think that plays into them, in their cause here. Really, I think the match comes down between the two of those teams. I think one of those two teams is going to win. I think ideally I would like to see Nia and Tamina win the belts here, and then that would lead to them defending against Sasha and Bayley, and maybe then Sasha and Bayley winning the championships, big triumphant thing at WrestleMania. And then from there, the tag titles can float from show to show, which I would imagine is the case because they have not designated a brand for it yet, and it's multi-brand action here. Now they can't say anymore Survivor Series is the one time of the year when Raw versus SmackDown go head-to-head. But anyway, I believe that Nia Jax and Tamina, the Samoan slaughterhouse, are going to be the first of these new women's tag champs. In the other Elimination Chamber match, Daniel Bryan defends the Hemp WWE Championship against Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Kofi Kingston, who is a last-minute replacement for Mustafa Ali, who got hurt this past weekend. I think Kofi really made a big case for himself in that gauntlet match on Tuesday, going well over an hour, and just the whole match itself was great, but Kofi was easily the MVP of that match for going as long as he did. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they just did a wild thing in this match and had Kofi win the championship here. And, you know, not keep it till WrestleMania, drop it back to Daniel Bryan or something. I think out of all the potential matchups where this could lead to WrestleMania for Daniel Bryan, I think Kofi right now is the most interesting one. It's certainly the most fresh because I don't want to see Daniel take on AJ for the 100th time. Him going against a heel Samoa Joe or a heel Randy Orton doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Jeff Hardy, I don't think is ready quite yet for a WrestleMania main event spot or to win this match in particular. And so I think that this really is the most interesting because the New Day have been over like Rover for years now, and they've been in the tag team scene for so long. It'd be really interesting for them to just call this audible and have Kofi Kingston suddenly plop in the main event scene and get this shot at being in the main event and being a champion. He could maybe lose it back to Daniel Bryan and they have a rematch at WrestleMania or something, but I think that that would actually be the most exciting thing. With Daniel winning an Elimination Chamber, to me it makes it a little more difficult to figure out where he's going to go from there, but I'm going to go with the wild pick here, echoing a lot of other people's sentiments and say, what the hell? Give Kofi the belt. Well, those are my picks for Elimination Chamber. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the comments section below, and I'll see you on the other side with my Elimination Chamber review on Monday morning. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.